First of all, let me celebrate the conveners of this amazing conference. Celebrate you all. I also celebrate the head of the church, the ESCOs. I celebrate you all, and also the congregation. You guys are amazing. Clap for yourself. And how can I go ahead without celebrating my amazing wife? And my dear children, God bless you. And my sweet mother. Please a round of applause for them. I want to appreciate you all for having me in this amazing conference. Thank you for counting me worthy of being an inspiration to you all. Before I go ahead, Mr. P, we have been having, these amazing conversations online and offline. And he said something that touched me. He said, I've been following you since 2015. That was the same thing I heard. And I realized that I don't know the people that are watching me. I don't know the lives that I'm touching. Mr. Faye, thank you so much. September 12, 2019. And I was going like a young person, like everybody here, wanted to set up my own business. I wanted to be a successful entrepreneur, like every young man, and I always wanted to take care of my family as the first son, be that example in this community, not just to your family. And life happened. I was attacked by armed robbers. I was shot in the face with a local gun. So luckily for me, it wasn't even a standard gun, right? And that's how I lost my sight. And you expect me to fall into depression. And as I share this, I want you to put yourself in my shoes. Try and empathize. If the doctors tell you that you will not be able to see again, how would you feel? That's a rhetorical question. You don't need to respond. But just empathize. Wouldn't you be depressed? Wouldn't you question, is God alive? Are you sure that God is watching over me? I'm a Christian. This shouldn't have happened to me. And several times I thought that I should just end my life. I thought, how do I live my life this way? All the things I wanted to achieve. How do I do it without my sight? I never knew that God has plans. No matter what you are going through, there's a plan B that God will not show you. He will not show you immediately. And at this time, I said, I was angry with God. Why would you allow this happen to me? But the question changed at some point. I think like a month later, when I started to remember, Baba, you need God. And I started to ask, what is the reason why this is happening to me? Some of you here right now need to ask yourself, what is the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through? There's nothing like failures, it's just lessons. What is that reason? And it's up to you to ask God, And that will lead me to my first point that I'm going to give you. And I want you to write this point down as I go ahead. Be addicted to the attitude of gratitude. You see, I remember when I told myself, you didn't die. Remember when the doctor said, who survives being shot in the face? And I started to think back when I got to the hospital, when the doctors told my mom, madam, this God will you serve. Continue to serve this God. And it just started to add up. And at this time, I was still feeling like, no, God, you messed up. I told myself, Tom, you are alive. You didn't die. You can still move your hands. You can still move your legs. Remember when the doctor said, these pellets that are in your head, they are very close to your spine, that you might have just been blind and at the same time paralyzed from your neck to your toe. Just imagine that. Then I realized that no matter what you are going through, there is always something to be grateful for. I was telling Mr. Fain the other time that your complaint is what somebody is praying for. There's somebody probably in your street looking up to you and saying, because Lagbaja is like this, God, I want to be like Lagbaja. And you are saying, things are tough. I remember when I was sighted, there was a video I watched. I will never forget that video. I always make reference to that video when I'm speaking. There was a man that had a Lamborghini and was looking at an helicopter and was like, I wish I had money to buy that helicopter. And there was a man that had a car like a Toyota, economic car, you know. He was looking at that man with the Lamborghini and said, see this flashy car. I wish I had that car. Then there was a man with a bicycle wishing he had car to drive him to work. Now this is the one that touches me. This is the message in this video. There was a man on a wheelchair wishing he had legs. Now you see this chain of different people going through different situations in their life. Think about it for a moment. Your complaint is what somebody is praying for. When you wake up in the morning, the fact that you can see yourself in the mirror, guess what? There are people that can't. I'm not doing this to mock myself. I'm just using myself as an example. You can see the color of your shirt. I can't. Some of you who are not married will grow up one day and you will have kids. Guess what? I can't see my kids. But would I say I should not smile? I tell Mr. Fain, I say, behind my smile is a million tears. What makes up the smile is a million tears. We are not saying that you will not be depressed. See, depression is a normal human feeling. It will come, but don't stay there for long. Day your lane. Many of us are so worried. When you look on Instagram, you are seeing everything. That's like a distraction. You can never compare your timeline with other people's own. You don't know how they are making their own money. So why shoot yourself in the foot? Wherever we find ourselves, God has a plan for us. It may be tough, it may be hard. You see, if I didn't focus on gratitude, only God knows what would be my story now. I started dancing. Mr. Fain has seen my dance videos. I don't joke with dancing. I started singing. I started doing the things I know I can still do. Focus on that gratitude. And if you, that's why I said, be addicted. If you make it a lifestyle to be grateful, you wake up in the morning, it will become a part of you. That negativity will start to fade away. That you will now start to think that, how about the things I have that people don't have? And that will lead me to my next one. And see, what I'm sharing now is what I was going through before I came out of the depression. Secondly, this one is a very, very important point. Every human being have been blessed with the ability to choose. So I'm going to tag this the power of choice. I remember when I was going through everything I was going through, and I was trying to get out of all the pain, the bitterness and everything. And when I was almost out of it, I pictured myself at a crossroad. Now imagine yourself at the junction. You know all these big signboards. I now picture, I had an imagination. I pictured myself and I looked to my left. And at the left it says subheading: depression, bitterness, sadness, unforgiveness, and all the negative things you can mention. Then I looked to the right. I saw a big signboard that says goodness, positivity, greatness, and everything that has to do with the positive things of life. And I ask myself, which would you rather choose for you, Tommy? Would you rather live a life of depression and you keep wallowing in pain, or you choose forgiveness, you choose positivity? I know some people will ask him, did you forgive the young man that shot you? No worry, you people will ask the question. We'll make that a conversation. And forgiveness, positivity, goodness, happiness. So I will ask you, whatever you are going through in life, picture yourself now in that situation. Which would you rather choose for yourself? You are probably someone here who is depressed. Which would you rather choose for you? I will leave you to answer that question for yourself, just like I was at that point in my life. And obviously, the choice I made, I chose the one at the right path. I chose goodness, I chose positivity, I chose to dance, I chose to sing, I chose to tell life that no matter what you throw at me, I will choose to be positive. In the word disability, there's ability in it. No matter the situation you find your life, or you find yourself in rather, choose positivity. You have the choice to say, I would rather stay depressed. Nobody's taking that away from you. But the question is, what is that failure teaching you? What is that experience teaching you? Will you watch the lemons that life have thrown at you rot away, or rather turn them to lemonades? Silver lining in storm is that thing, that positive thing. See, no matter what you are going through, there is always something good that can come out of it. That's why these, wise men will tell you that it is in problems that people make money. Isaac Newton, and the scientists of old, the people that we still talk about today. The reason why we talk about them is because they solved a problem. Focus on the silver lining in the storm. So I looked at myself, I said, how can I turn my mess to a message? Many of us are going through an experience and you don't know that you are a source of inspiration to someone out there. If only you choose to be positive, if only you pick yourself up. Some people have been rape victims. You will see them, they are now inspiring people who are rape victims. They are now helping them come out of it. They've been able to come out of that depression themselves. They've been able to forgive. Now they are now helping. That is mess to message. Some of you have lost a loved one. You are now helping people to grieve. You see me joyful, you see me dance, and you are here and you are still complaining till now. I'm on social media and people are saying, join NSPPD, this and that. And I'm like, this is something I usually don't tell people. I trust God that I'm going to see again. But there's something I know this would shock people. And I say, and I'm having this conversation with God, and I said, my Father, if it is your will that I be this way, to do your work, to inspire people, then let me stay this way. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There is nothing like God's will in your life. So I'm like, even if God doesn't give me my sight, you have to come to an understanding. I'm not bothered. He's taking care of the birds and the beasts of the field. Can you compare yourself to the cows in the field? Do you know who you are? If you don't know who you are, you better check yourself. How close are you to your maker? I had to do a double check. How close are you to God? If I can overcome what I overcame, if I'm living my life this way, Is there any person with disability here? Anybody? If you are here, don't say hello. Good, there's nobody here. If I'm living my life this way and I choose to be happy, think again. Remember what I said when I started. Your complaint is what somebody is praying for. That next person close to you, somebody is wishing to have that iPhone that you have, or that phone that you know that there are people that cannot afford phone till now. Some people cannot afford even 1 square meal. Some of us at least we have eaten, yes. Some people have not eaten it for the past 3 days. That is the advantage that you have. Don't joke with God. I have no reasons to be worried, even though I'm not able to see now, but I trust God that I will see one day. It's faith, but there's nothing like when you have eyes and you cannot see. Vision. That's inner sight. Insight. Many of us have been blessed with it, but we are not making use of it. The only person that can help you make use of it is God. Many of you are potential inventors, business moguls, but you are still in between. You are one leg in, one leg out. How dedicated are you? Even if you are not a worker in church, what are you doing for humanity? As a young person, you are energetic. What are you doing in your own community to be that example, to be that light in this society? I want to thank God for the family that God has blessed me with. As I start to wrap up, let me quickly talk about forgiveness. Sometimes we don't move forward because we are still dwelling in the past. What you have is now. Even Jesus Christ said it that, He has already provided your daily bread. Don't focus on tomorrow. Focus on today. Many a times, things that are in the past are making us stagnant. Many of you may be questioning, how will you forgive somebody that made you blind? If I didn't, I would not be here today. I probably will still be, oh God, this person, I'll just keep on struggling with depression. But here I am today, able to talk about forgiveness, to set yourself free. Let it go. You are probably here, maybe you are one babe that guy messed you up, or one guy that lady have messed you up, and you are still holding on. That may be the reason why things may not be flowing. Who is that person you are holding on to? Thank God for my loved ones who put me through, who didn't give up on me. Everything is now history. Unforgiveness, bitterness, and limit everything that you have to, that has to do with negativity. Stand your ground and hold on to God. I will leave us with this word. You may not be able to control the storm. You see, many a times you don't have the power to control the storm, but you can learn how to dance in the rain. That's because you are the light. No matter the storm you are going through right now, no matter what the economy is telling you right now, learn how to dance in the rain. Be the light. And as I always say, as an ambassador of love and kindness, in your community, sometimes blessings that is, hanging somewhere, that is supposed to come to you, can just be in seed sowing. It can just be in you just doing that little thing for that your neighbor. Does that sacrifice of love. So take this from me. Remember, I always say this on Instagram, for those of you who are following me on Instagram, let's be human together. Thank you so much for having me.